Hey everybody, astrology time. Shane here, daily-astrocat.com. Today is Sunday, the 19th of April. So let's go. The moon's in Taurus all day long, not all day long. It's going to be void of course at 11:45, and it's going to enter Gemini at 12:18 in the morning, right? So basically, we've got a short void of course. Today's a big day for those who have decisions to be made. But first, we have to convince ourselves that we need to get up and get going. The moon in earthy Taurus loves the comfort of a warm bed. Later, when she's entering Gemini, is when we're going to arrive at a decision. Now, something is going on under the surface, and action is definitely required. You can be assured that you're going to make a proper decision today, however. That's a good thing. Now, just don't get into an argument over small details, because there's reasons for this. And those things can usually be addressed later. The moon in Taurus was a surprise for some, a desire for making our spaces more comfortable. That was kind of a driving force, right? Now, our decision-making apparatus is sharpened by the moon in Gemini once it enters Gemini. So don't allow yourself to be distracted. Perhaps this is one of your new seedlings. More on this later, okay? Now, today's keyword is decisive. And let's just, the color today is the red tree buds, the red maples that grow along the swamps and stuff like that. They're really starting to show up in force, right? Now, today is a surprising day. Normally, I talk about the season first, but today I'm changing up my approach, which is something I never do. I'm going to talk about the moon first. So as the moon is leaving Taurus, she will be conjunct with Venus at 2:44 in the morning, and then she's conjunct with Mercury, Uranus at the time of the void of course. So the moon is in the energetic degree of Taurus, and that's what's going to urge us to stay in bed, right? Because that's something. However, the moon's also with Uranus, and that sets us up for big shifts in energy, right? Surprising shifts in energy. Something's going to surprise us about what it is that we decide to be doing, and what it is that we want to be doing, and we feel like we need to be doing, both creatively and monetarily, which is kind of an interesting thing. Now, the Aries energy will be definitely the backdrop for this, right? And as the day progresses, you're going to feel this more and more as it starts to really just build. Now, that Aries energy, however, is just everything that's been happening, right? The sun's just about ready to leave Aries. So we still have that solar energy in Aries that's going to give way to it later on tonight. Now, the moon in Gemini will form sextiles with all of the planets in Aries, and it's going to trine Pluto in Aquarius. So what's that going to do? Well, there's an urge to do something today that could very well involve green energy. It could involve communication, technology, and the desire to set changes for us into motion. A serious approach will lead to some profound insights. Definitely. Okay? Today. Now, both of our luminaries are in the energetic degrees of their respective sign. The moon, we already just discussed that. The sun in Aries will be leaving there tonight at 9:39 p.m., and the Taurus season will begin. There's some negative things we need to watch out for this afternoon. Rushing around, definitely. Give yourself plenty of time to get places. Avoid multitasking like the plague today. Remember, when the Aries season, do you remember when the Aries season began? We started seeing an increase in traffic accidents. Yeah. Road rage is a thing, and so don't do something that will provoke anyone today, especially with the energetic degree, right? Because that's the worst tendencies: anger, haste. All right? Unfortunately, the world is already full of bad drivers, really loud vehicles, and inexperienced motorcycle operators who are waiting for Darwin/karma to set them straight on the straight path. Try not to participate in their lessons, their karmic lessons, all right? And the Taurus season kicks off with a holiday here in Massachusetts tomorrow. So tonight, we get to enjoy a chill vibe, right? This gives us a chance to really get some serious work accomplished. Like on our side hustles or something like that. Things that aren't really necessarily work related per se, but work that's important to us. Separating the 3D from our 5D, what we're working on spiritually. We don't talk about that as much because we don't have those planets in Pisces anymore, right? Still there as an overtone, though, because these things really don't, we have things that we need to be doing. We have things that we need to be accomplishing. And we still have the nodes in that position. So we're still coming from that. From that, even though we're transitioning nodes from Pisces Virgo to Aquarius Leo. So that node, that karma that I mentioned with the motorcycles and stuff like that, and the cars and the drivers, also applies to us. So now, if you don't have a side hustle or something like that, maybe this is the time you will begin to pick one up. Taurus season is going to be an excellent time to test out our newer ideas, and it will help us sustain the energy, this energy that we have concentrated in Aries right now, in a surprising way, because it doesn't necessarily work that way. But if you think about it, there's some ways where it can complement each other. Even if it doesn't complement it in contrast, whatever is opposite that Taurus season is sometimes where we can expect to culminate some of those things. And that is Scorpio seasons. And I've already told you that we're looking for a couple of things looking forward to a couple of things turning out for us, some dips into abundance and stuff like that in the Scorpio season that will be coming. So, that being said, I'd like to thank you all for joining me. It's been very nice. Now, the event. In 1775, on this date, the American Revolution begins in Lexington, Massachusetts, with the shot heard around the world fired later on that day in Concord, Massachusetts. Just a few short miles from here, right? That's right. There were even Framingham Minutemen that were able to appear in Concord and assist with that. So, and our birth is another Revolutionary War figure, Roger Sherman, born in 1721. He's an American lawyer and founding father of the United States. He signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. He's born in Newton, Massachusetts. Now, Roger Sherman actually moved to Connecticut, so he was a representative from Connecticut after he was born in Massachusetts. He's the only person to have signed all four of the most significant documents in early American history. He signed the Continental Association from the First Continental Congress, the Declaration of Independence, the Articles of Confederation, and the United States Constitution. And that is all I have for you. So let's recap, shall we? Today's keyword is decisive. We get to be decisive about some things that we're going to be doing. Those decisive things that we're deciding on, definitely are seedlings, right? And for some part. And for other parts, it's things that we've been thinking about doing for ourselves. It's going to add pleasure to our world as we move forward, right? This Taurus things, Moon and Taurus things, brought on by that. And our color is red tree buds. They're going to turn green, right? Absolutely. Perfect transition from Aries to Taurus for the sun, leaving the season. And that is all I have for you. So, today is a 6. Happy astrocatting.